to remember that getting into your customer again, being objective, you may see a slight difference. Being an expert in your field, you know exactly why your photography is better, or you might know the particular little nuance or uniqueness about you. But this is what the customer's seeing. They're just looking at this field of choices. And so you have to help them pick through all these things and know which to look at and what to do. And one really great way to do that is by making your unique selling proposition. And I know that a lot of you will find that very difficult because you're like, there's a million landscape photographers out there. How am I different? That's your challenge. You got to find a way. Even if it involves defining a whole new category. You are the Maine lobster on a dock landscape photographer. You are the top in your category because you've defined your category. It's one way to say you are the best. You are the top. You're the only one doing Maine lobsters on a dock. Okay, so and then try to have those things really sell the benefits that will mean a lot to your customer from their point of view. They're looking at it from their objective. Be unique. Find out, there's nothing more unique than that. Stand out from the crowd, and you're going to have to work at it to find out what that unique selling proposition is. Okay? So, once you define it, so for example, Better Photo, after months and months of dialogue, discussion, brainstorming, trial and error, testing, we determined that our unique selling proposition was interaction with a professional, well-known photographer directly. So we thought, how can we put that? That makes us different than NYIP, for example. It makes us different than going to a real school because it's online. I'm going to say real school. Of course, we're a real school too. Going to Brooks or something like that. Okay, so we came up with have a pro at your side, online, anytime. And that was our tagline that expresses our unique selling proposition. If you come to us,
say it again.
Have a pro at your side, online, anytime. And that's the idea that, if you want to work with a Tony Sweet or a Jim Zuckerman or Rob Shepard, but you can't afford to go on a personal workshop with them, or you don't want to travel, come to us. Tagline, elevator pitch, that's just a real short descriptive phrase. Your Twitter pitch is like an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is basically how you would describe your business if you were on an elevator with someone. You only got 30 seconds. A Twitter pitch is even more extreme because Twitter, you only have 140 characters. It's a very short amount of information. I'm just going to try to cover some of the things we're going to see in the next few slides. I was talking about an elevator pitch. Okay, here's how you do an elevator pitch. You think about a problem of frustration. Remember we were talking about that with your customer? So you think about some pain point, some hot button. And that is usually phrased as, when, ... Like, when you really want a picture of the concert you just went to, and you can't find it, or something like that. That's the first half of an elevator pitch, and then the second half is, well, what we do is ... So in my case again, I'm in the photography educational business. I might say, when you really wish you could just ask a pro exactly what settings you should use in a particular situation. Well, what we do is we give access to a pro, direct access. So you got to think about that in anything that you're doing. Okay, so the tagline basically has to be very short, memorable, catchy. That's why I like the IV vision or iVision. That's got a catchiness to it. Maybe you could work with logos and stuff to bring out the idea of iVision. Put it on your site, put it everywhere. Have one cohesive statement or message that you're going. An elevator pitch, I told you, speak to the pain, when, well, this is what we do. You can define that, you're going to just be so far ahead of the rest when you're not just, oh, I'm so-and-so, I work in the city. No, you really succinctly tell people how you can help them. You're going to be standing out from the crowd. I just wanted to say, we talked about pay-per-click advertising, and you can do that. You can buy traffic to your website. It's a very possible, viable way to go. When I experimented with it, I found that it just took a lot of my time and energy to manage these pay-per-click campaigns. Also, I told you that the bid prices got very pricey sometimes. So, you would need to become an expert in that. Even if you're using an automated software tool to manage your bids, you'd have to do that. So it was too much for me, so I hired it out. And I tried a company here in New York, tried a company here on the West Coast, and ended up finally finding one in South Africa that was actually very good. But unfortunately by then I'd run out of money and patience with it. And I'm talking $10,000 a month burning through this, and it just not producing anywhere near the return on investment. So you can start small and kind of see how it goes. But I prefer to use this sort of the pen is mightier than the wallet idea. Instead of pay-per-click and banners, which are pretty ineffective because people are blind to them, generally, I like to think about what can I do in sort of a bootstrapping, grassroots kind of create my own content way. And that's when we get into organic search engine optimization, getting your site to just come up when people search.